Let me know, guys, if you're able to see the questions on your screen.
I can appreciate.
Okay, done. 5 minutes time will be there, guys, so you can complete this test in 5 minutes. Hmm. Only one person respond, guys. Can you see the questions on your screen?
Yes, sir, Shanmugh, you are able to see.
What happened, guys? Only one person started this almost 1.5 minutes completed. Manasa, please rejoin. Huh? Those who cannot see the questions, please rejoin. Huh? I guess you might join
Shanmugh,
after launching.
but the question number 4, right? It seems like the options for A and B both are same.
Are you sure? For which question?
Question number 4.
Question number 4. Ah, okay. Select whatever you want. Only 14 people responded till now. 15 people responded. 16. Guys, quickly complete the quiz so that we can jump into the discussion. Guys, we have only 10 seconds to go. Only 23 people answered till now. Okay, done guys. I'm going to end the quiz. Let me open the results, guys. Let me open this. Okay, 1 minute. One minute, guys. It's loading. Just a minute. Right, guys. Are you able to see my screen? Yes, Abhi, it's closed.
Yes.
Okay, done. So the first question is, what is the query to read all the records in a table, guys? Select star from table name. Okay, you can see the answers like almost 16%. 16 people correct choose correct answer. Sorry, 16 people choose correct answer, and 4 people select star from database name, which is wrong answer, and 1 person select from table name. Please be muted. Right. And select star from values table name, which is wrong answer. 2 people selected wrong answer, guys. Okay. And query to change the database context. Okay. The second one is query to change the database context, right? In the yesterday we discussed, right? So how to change the database context? What query we can use to change the database context? So we can use. Okay, here if you database context means here. Okay. So once this is connected completely, then you can see when I open any query window, then only I can see that one. Okay. So every query we have to write it on a database, right? So we cannot write any query on a specific particular server, guys. On any database only we can write the queries. So when you open new query window, then only it will be highlighted. So if you want to change using GUI option, this is the way. If you want to change using query option, you have to use a query called use database name. Job you can, oh, okay, fine. You cannot see the screen. Okay, sorry guys. I thought you're able to see the screen now. SSMS.
Yes.
Done. Okay, if you want to change the query using GUI, this is how we can change the database using GUI. If you want to change the database using query, we have a query called use database name. Okay, we have a query called use database name. So how many of you selected correct answer, guys? So 12 people, okay, selected. Only 52% selected correct answer, guys. Okay, 2 people. Open database name, there is no such query. Select the database name, there is no such query. 6 people selected wrong answer. Okay, there is no such query. Choose database name, there is no such query. 3 people selected wrong answer, guys. Okay, query to insert records in a table. Okay, so what query we can use to insert records in a table? Insert into table name, values, value 1, value 2, value 3. Okay, almost 78%. 18 people selected correct answer. Right, 4 people selected this first option, which is wrong. Insert into values, table name, value 1, value 2, value 3. This is wrong answer. Okay, and one person selected write into table name. There is no write query in SQL Server. Okay, there is no write query or command in SQL Server. Right, okay, fine. So query to create a table, create table, table name. Most of you people are confused here. What is the difference between first and second options, guys?
There is a common between data type.
Yes, okay. If you see here in the first option, you can see column 1 comma database data type, you can see, which is wrong answer. Okay, so in the next option you can see there is no comma. Okay, column 1 data type comma column 2 data type, column 3 data type. Okay, between columns only you will have commas. Okay, between the particular column and the data type there will be no comma. So 12 people selected correct answer, guys. 7 people selected wrong answer, and one more person selected select table, table name, which is wrong answer, and 3 people selected wrong answer, create table, table name, values. Okay, that is also wrong answer. So query to filter all the employees from Bangalore. So select star from employees where location is equal to Bangalore is the correct answer. So read star from no one selected, very good. Select star from employees where location is equal to Bangalore here. For strings, I told you right earlier, yesterday we discussed, not yesterday, day before yesterday we discussed. If it is a character type of data, we have to put it in the strings, guys. You have to add strings. Okay, if it's a character type of data, you have to add the strings. And of course, no one selected the last option, guys. Okay, so this is how. And how many people responded? 23 people. Not actually out of 27, 23 people responded, guys. Four people not yet responded. Okay, that's fine. Let's jump into the session now. So yesterday we did not connected because of some technical issues. So today we'll complete the discussion. Okay, related to the system databases. Okay, today somewhat theory will be there. Okay, so we'll discuss about system databases. What are system databases? How many system databases are there? What are the roles, okay, of each system database? And where we can see the system databases, okay, where we can see the system databases. And when you start the SQL Server, which system database will come online first? Okay, what are the system databases IDs? Okay, can we rename the system databases? So all these things will be discussed today, guys, in today's session. Okay, chalo, let's jump into the session. So today we'll discuss about the system databases, where we can see the system databases. If you expand the databases section, you can see system databases. Okay, there are two types of databases: system databases and the user databases. Someone unmuted, please be muted, please. Sion. Right. So yeah, let me go to SSMS. Right. So we have two types of databases. One is system databases. Second one is user databases. What is the difference between system databases and user databases? System databases means when you install SQL Server, automatically these system databases will come along with the SQL Server. So we don't create system databases. System databases will come automatically. Okay. So user databases will create when user databases, user means users. You are one user. You are connecting to the server. You have some work. You connected to the server and you are creating an object. So who is creating? Users are creating for their requirements. So those are all called user databases. User database means users will create the databases. Those databases are called user databases. Maximum how many databases we can create in SQL Server? Can anyone tell me?
32767.
32767, 32,767 databases we can create, okay, in the SQL Server. So this is very important. Actually, SQL Server supports 32,767 databases, right? SQL Server supports 32,767 databases. Out of this 32,767 databases, 5 databases will be created when you install the SQL Server. So if you subtract that 5 system databases from 32,767, so a user can create 32,762 databases. Okay, already SQL Server supports 32,767. Already some databases will be created, right? When you install SQL Server, already databases will be created. So 32,767, how many system databases you will get it, guys? Actually 5 system databases you will get it, but in the SSMS you can see only 4 system databases. I'll show you the 5th system database. Okay, so total 5 system databases will be there when you install SQL Server. So if you subtract 32,767 minus 5, 32,762 databases a user can create, right? So now let's discuss the role of each system database. Earlier I told you in the beginning of the sessions we discussed that SQL Server also will store, see, to run this SQL Server we need some information like paths and all. So you know that the path is there in this location, right? You know that SQL Server path, data files, log files, path is there in this location. You know that. Why? Because you installed, you learned that paths and all there in this location. Okay, right. But how system will know? How SQL Server will know? My master database is existed in this path. My model database is existed in this path. My temp DB is existed in this path. My other databases, user databases are there, right? Exist in this path. How it knows, guys? How SQL Server will knows?
Default location.
Default. How? Where it will store the default location? Okay, very good. Where it will store the default location?
Where we install the software.
Where we installed it will store. There it will store.
Master database.
Master data.
That's okay. To manage these things, okay, we need some system databases, means system level information. That is also one data. So in SQL Server, data will be stored at the end of the day, data will be stored in the databases only. So in which databases system related data will be stored? In system databases, system related data will be stored. In SQL Server related internal information will be stored in the system databases. To manage these things, to maintain these things, we need some system databases, right? So those are all your system databases. Each system database is very critical database. Each one will have its own role in running running the SQL Server. So every database is important, guys. Every database is important. Okay, so let's discuss what master will do, what model will do, what MSDB will do, what tempdb will do, finally what resource database will do. Okay, right. So generally what master will do, guys, master, okay, is the heart of the SQL Server. Master is the heart of the SQL Server. The core system database is called master. Very important. That is the first system databases that you have to give priority. Master. Name itself is saying master. So master is very important. How? What kind of information will be stored in this master? Right? So in the master database, generally the SQL Server configuration values. What are the configuration values? Like if you go to properties, if you go to settings of the SQL Server, you can see lot of values, right? The system information, server information, and some security settings, memory settings, whatever you can see, these are the configuration values. We'll discuss every value later, okay, so not now. So slowly, topic by topic, we'll discuss. So these values, the configuration values and all, will be stored. See, configured values, these values and all will be stored in the master database. Guys, this is very important interview question. Tell me about system database. They will ask you like, tell me about system databases. Okay, so master is a crucial database in SQL Server system databases. It contains all the configuration related data. SQL Server configuration related data will be stored in the master database. Master knows the path of all other databases. Master knows the path. See, for example, now let me tell you one thing. See, when I'll bring this database offline. Okay, wantedly I'll bring this database offline. How to bring the database offline? Right click, tasks, take offline. Okay, just casually I'm taking this database offline. Right, so don't bring any database offline, guys. Application will be down. Okay, right, now that's fine. So now if I want to bring this database online, I'll right click on the tasks and bring online. So internally, what will happen, guys, when I'm clicking on this bring online, what will happen, you know? SQL Server, this database will have its own data file and log file, right? PhonePe database will have its own data file and log file, right? If you want to open any file generally, right? If you want to open any file generally, you should know the location of that file, right? Without knowing the location, how can you open the file? You should know the location of the file. You want to open some notepad, whatever notepad you stored, you are writing down each and everything, some important points, shortcuts and all, you are storing in one notepad. So once done, you just closed it. Later tomorrow you want to open the same notepad. So you should know the location, right, where we can get that file and all. Right, in the same way, database is also having files. We have to open those files. So SQL Server should know the location of the database files, right? So when I'm trying to bring this database online, what SQL Server will do internally, SQL Server will go to this path. It will check whether PhonePe database is existed or not. Whether PhonePe database data file and log file is existed or not, it will check. Okay, so whether PhonePe in this location, PhonePe database data file, and in the log folder PhonePe database log file is existed or not, it will check, guys. It will check. See, for data file, that is the path / data folder. For log file, this is the path / log folder. So this path, when SQL Server is trying to bring this online, it will check in the respective paths whether files are existed or not. If the files are not existed, it cannot bring the database online. So where these paths will be stored? The data file path, log file path, in which system database it will be stored, guys? In master database it will be stored. In the master database only it will be stored. So master database knows the other system database data files and log files. Now when I'm trying to see, wantedly I'll do one thing. Okay, what I'll do, Control Shift N, I am going to create one folder. I'll move this PhonePe data file into this folder, PhonePe folder. Now let's try to bring this database online. Guys, guess it whether I can get this database online or not. When I'm clicking OK, bring online, can this be online, guys? Guess it.
No.
Guess it, guys. Can this
No,
be
I-
online? Why no?
No.
Why no?
The path.
Simple.
changed.
Path is changed, right? So let's try to bring this database online. Immediately we are getting error. So if you see here, okay, set offline failed. What it is saying? Right. So unable to open the physical. It is clearly saying, see here, unable to open the physical file. See program files, Microsoft SQL Server, ding 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 ding, data folder, PhonePe.mdf. Operating system error 2, the system cannot find the specified, could not restart the database phone pay. Now you can see this path, right? C program files, this is the till data folder. You can see this path, right? Where it stored this path, how it knows this path. How? Because this path is stored in the master database. That's why whenever you are trying to bring the database online, in this path there is no file. Operating system error 2, the system cannot find the specified file, could not restart the database. It is checking in this. Why? Because this path is stored in the master database. When you are trying to bring this database online, it will check in this path whether this file is there or not. Unfortunately, in this path, the path is same, right? This path and this path is same, right? Okay, C program files, Microsoft SQL Server, MS SQL data, right? So the path is same, but still there is no file. There is no file in this path. 1 minute. Abba. Suresh, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yes, sorry, just 1 minute, please. Right, okay, fine. So again, so when you are trying to bring this database online, what happened, guys? It is throwing the error. Why? Because it is checking this path, whether in this path database is existed or not. So how the server remembered this path? Why? Because this path is stored in the master database. That's why it, as there is no such files in this location, so it is unable to bring the database online. So now what I will do, I am going to simply, okay, take this copy, Control C. You can do cut paste also, no issues, but I am going to pull it again. Okay, I just copy to the same previous location. Now what I'll do, I'll click OK, and I'm going to close this, and again I'm trying to bring this database online. So now the database will come to online. So whenever you are restarting the SQL server, whenever you are, I don't know how many of you observed, database restart failed. Okay, actually there is no, guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Shimo, you
yes.
can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
there is no concept of database restart. When you put the database offline and when you are trying to bring the database online, automatically it's a kind of restart. So when you restart the SQL server, when you restart the Windows machine, when you restart the SQL server and when you restart the Windows machine, what will happen, guys? It will bring your master database, will check all other databases including other system databases also. Okay, it will check whether all databases paths are existed properly or not, whether in that paths the files, physical files are existed or not, it will check. If the files are existed, then only it will allow to bring the database online. If the files are not existed, simply it will throw the error. So this kind of information, all other database location paths will be stored in the master database. Okay, so master database will store the SQL server settings, master database will store the configuration settings, master database will store the other databases data files and log files settings or locations, and master database also will store the logins information. What is this login and all, I'll tell you in the security session. Might be we'll start the security from coming Monday. Okay, so we'll tomorrow and after tomorrow we'll discuss other topics. So from Monday onwards security will start. So all other logins means SQL server will allow only the list of these people only to connect to the SQL server. How come? Why? Because the list of these people information will be stored in the master, and master knows each login name, passwords of each login will be stored in the master database. Can you show me? It's not possible to show you guys. It will be encrypted. You cannot see like that. Why? Because if everyone can see all other users passwords and all, now other person can see your password and he is going to connect to the server like you only, right? So that is not possible to see, but master database will store all this kind of information, all this kind of data will be stored in the master database, guys. This is how the master will work. If master is corrupted, in the interviews they will ask, if master is corrupted, how you are going to troubleshoot it? There are different ways, will be discussed later. But if master is corrupted, guys, tell me, can I start my SQL server? If master is corrupted, can I start my SQL server?
No.
No. Very simple. No, it's not possible. Why? Why no?
All the information will be there in the master.
Okay. Right. So all four system databases are important to run the SQL server. If master, forget about user databases, we cannot access user databases. But if these system databases are not online, SQL server cannot be online, right? So if master is corrupted, SQL server will be down, guys. We cannot connect to SQL server. Very important points. Master is a crucial database in the SQL server. The very important database in the SQL server. It will store the settings of SQL server, configuration values of SQL server, all other databases, data files and log files locations. It will store all the logins and their passwords information in the master database. Everything I will give you guys. I hope I have already shared this document with you. You can see in the document. Nothing. No need to write down anything. You can just go through the document I gave you. Okay. Just concentrate on the class. That's it. Right. So master is a very critical database. If master is down, if master is corrupted, SQL server won't be up and running. Next, model database. What model database will do? What is the role of model database? Right. So what is the meaning of model, guys? Generally, model. What is meant by model?
Model nothing but template database.
Model is nothing but
Template, new database.
template. Okay, okay, fine, fine. Very good. Good answer. Right, very simple, guys. The meaning of model is role model. What is meant by role model? My father is my role model. My brother is my role model. What it means? Some hero is my role model. Okay, some other guy is my role model. So what it means? It means we'll try to inherit their properties. Right? We'll try to inherit their properties. We'll try to behave like the role model, right? Right? So in the same way, model. So now let me give you an example. Now you are creating a new database. Okay, so when you are creating a new database, something like a role model database you are creating, so you are not giving the size of the database. You can see 8 MB 8 MB only. You are not giving the size, right? Every file will have one size, right? Big or small, at least size will be there. You are not giving these values. You are not setting the auto growth values. You are not giving any path and all where to store these files. You are not enabling any of the options on the database. You are not creating any of the file groups, but still just you are giving one name and you are able to create a database. How come, guys? Very simple.
Because
What you are doing, you are simply renaming a copy of the model database. This is the template of the model database. This is the template of the model database. See, I'm going to click OK now. Now you can see database will be created, right? Role model you can see. Now see, let me go and open this properties. Let me go to files and let me show you that each size is 8 MB, 8 MB, 64 MB, 64 MB path and all you can see here. But now what I will do, I am going to change the model database properties to, okay, 8 MB to what I will do, I am going to change it to batch 50, right? 50 MB I will put it. Okay, this one I will give 18 MB, right? And by 64 MB is there, right? What I will do in percentage, 10% I will give you and limited to 100 MB I am changing. See guys, I changed some values. Now click OK. Chalo. So now what I did, I just did some settings on the model database. Now let's create a new database now. See, whatever settings we change to the model database, 50, 18, 10% limited to 100. So everything. Earlier it is 8 MB, 8 MB. Earlier it is in megabytes, 64 MB. Earlier it is unlimited growth. That's why I didn't change it for a log file. Earlier it was by 64 MB unlimited growth. I changed it for data file, 10% limited to 100 MB. But whenever you are creating a new database, the new values are applying. How come? Why? Because model will act as a template for the newly created databases. Template means, template message. You are driving, suddenly you are getting one call. Instead of, you can either lift the call or you can cut the call or you can set one template message. I am in driving, call you later. So what is the template? Template means already text is there. Already text is there. So you are simply selecting the text. Automatically the text will go to that recipient. So he can see that you are driving and he will call later. So that is the template. Right? In the same way, model will act as a template for the newly created databases. Model will act as a role model. So the new databases will try to inherit the properties of the model database. Is it clear, guys? What model will do? Everyone? Any questions, guys? Any questions?
it's clear.
No, it's clear.
Yes, someone is having questions, it seems. No questions?
Hello.
Yes, please.
When we are creating a new database, so by default value we can change also, na?
We can change. But how come you are getting the default values? That data from where you are getting? That values from where you are getting? That path from where you are getting? That settings from where you are getting?
Okay.
All these things you are getting from model database. Okay? Is it clear?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah, that's fine. Right, so this is how model will work, guys. Now I just changed all the values back to normal. Okay, I'm going to create new database now. Now again you can say 8 MB, 8 MB, 64 MB, 64 MB, unlimited, unlimited. So this is how generally it will work, guys. Model will act as a template for the newly created databases. All the newly created databases will follow the model database. Now tell me, if model is corrupted, can I start my SQL server or not? Guess it, guys. No issues.
We
Just
can
guess
start.
it. We can start. We cannot create new databases, right?
Yes.
My model is
Still no.
corrupted. We can still start the SQL server, right?
Yes, we can start.
Guys, any other answers?
Yes, we can start.
We can start.
It would take the default sizes.
Okay, fine. We can start. My model is corrupted. We can start. Okay, chalo. So let's reveal the answer at the end of the session. Okay, you will only tell whether we can start or not. Let's discuss about other databases. That's it. Model will act as a role model. It's not like a master and all. So just a model will act as a template for the newly created databases. All the newly created databases will follow model template only. Already created database, it won't affect, guys, anything. Newly created database only it will affect. Chalo. Next system database is MSDB. MSDB. What is MSDB? I'll give you an assignment for all of you. I'll give you a gift, those who will tell correct answer. Okay? What is MS in the MSDB? What is the abbreviation of MS in the MSDB? I'll give you 1 day time.
Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Are you sure? If you tell wrong answer, you have to give gift to me.
It is a storage.
Sorry?
It is a storage. Your database storage.
No, no, I don't.
Maybe main storage.
Main storage. Tell, I just want to see, guys, how you are going to, how creative you are. Tell me, guys, MS. Tell me what is the meaning, what is the abbreviation of MS?
Master database.
Master database. Already one master is there now, madam. Why again one master? Guess it, guys. Okay, I'll give
Memory
you 1
storage.
day time. Memory storage next. Maintenance storage next. What and all options are there? Okay, just guess it. Just check probability. How many ways we can try these MS? Okay, just try and let me know the answer tomorrow. Right, I'll give you a gift for correct answers. Fine. MSDB, what it will do, guys? MSDB is mainly responsible for the automation. MSDB is mainly responsible for the automation. What is meant by automation? Microsoft Debugger. That is the first answer. You will get it from the Google Raviteja, but that's not the correct answer. Okay. So MSDB is an automation related database, guys. What is automation first of all? So automation means automating the things. Instead of manually doing the things, you are going to automate using some tools or queries. Okay, you are going to automate the things. So that is called automation, right? So for example, on every database I have to take backup, guys. Why? Because as a DBA, it's our main responsibility to provide a safety to each and every database. So how you can provide safety? How you are going to provide safety to your data that is there in your phone, you will copy to the laptop, right? To make sure once once your phone is full, you'll copy that data to the laptop. That is called backup only, right? Right. So in the same way, I want to take backup of all the databases. Don't know what will happen. Suddenly the server might be crashed. Suddenly the disk might be crashed. Suddenly the network switch might be crashed. Suddenly the whole power might be gone for the whole data center. Suddenly tsunamis may come. Suddenly floods might come. Suddenly earthquake might come. So you have to provide the safety. Suddenly fire accidents might happen. Okay, so you have to provide the safety. How you will provide the safety? Using backup method. Okay, so you have to take backups of all the databases by default. So I'm having 50,000 databases in my organization. I'm not saying in the server. Okay, I'm having 100 servers. Each server is having 1000 databases, or each server is having 500 databases. So total 50,000 databases are there with me. Now daily I have to take backup of all these 50,000 databases. Who will take daily? Some backups we have to take 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes we have to take. Who will take every 15 minutes 50,000 databases backups? Who will take? Right? It's very
Impossible.
difficult, impossible, right? Yes, it's impossible. So for that we are going to create jobs, maintenance plans. So we'll create automation. The job is an automation task. Maintenance plan is an automation task. When you run these jobs and maintenance plans, automatically you are going to, it is going to take the backup of all the databases across all the servers. So that is called automation. That automation related data, the jobs related data, the maintenance related data, the backups related data, the restore related data, everything will be stored in the MSDB. You can see here, if you expand MSDB, if you expand the tables, you can see here what and all tables are there, system tables. You can see backup tables are there, okay? Log shipping tables are there. I'll tell you what is log shipping. Restore tables are there. Some jobs related information tables are there. Jobs, see, jobs related information tables are there. So like alerts related information tables are there. So lot of things you can see, guys. So what it will contains? Okay, so it will contains all the automation stuff, guys. Backups, restores, and jobs information, log shipping information. So all the automation related stuff will be stored in the MSDB. Now guess it, in case if my if my MSDB is corrupted, can I start my SQL server? If my MSDB is corrupted,
No, no, no.
No, it's corrupt.
why?
Because
Yes, we can start. Master database one.
Sorry, database.
Database first one.
Database. Not getting, sorry.
big login and also this not for login.
No, logins are not related to the automation, right?
Maintain jobs, backups.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think it's possible.
Hmm.
We kind of start the system, the master database, because it has nothing to do with the system.
Yes,
It's only more work for us.
correct. So, MSDB is a kind of optional system database. It's not so critical as master and model. So, kind of optional. I'm not saying optional, but a kind of optional system database, MSDB. So, if your MSDB is corrupted, nothing will happen. Your SQL server will be up and running. No issues to your SQL server. Only automation related stuff won't work properly. That's it. Okay? Clear, guys? Right. So the next system database is TempDB, very critical. Okay. After master, TempDB is the critical. Second highest database system database is TempDB. So what TempDB will do? Yesterday, I guess we discussed, right, day before yesterday, about TempDB. So TempDB.
Temporarily storage.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Yesterday, day before yesterday, we have seen the tables, like when you are running where condition and all. So when you are filtering some columns, when you are filtering some rows, you will get the output. that output temporarily will be stored in the tempdb. So every user, whatever they are running, directly or indirectly, every user should use tempdb. All the data processing will be done in the tempdb. tempdb is a kind of ram to the SQL server. Can you start Windows laptop without ram? Is it possible? Is it going to allow to start a laptop without ram?
No,
No.
it will throw a warning.
RAM also will store data temporarily, right? Right? RAM also will store the data temporarily. But is it possible? Is it possible to take the backup of the RAM data? Whatever data is there in the RAM, can we take the backup of the RAM data? No, not possible. That is a temporary data, guys. Whenever it is temporary data, wherever it is temporary data, backup you cannot take. So in the same way, I cannot take any backup on tempdb. Why? Because nothing will be stored permanently. How can I take this minute it might be existed, in the next minute it might be deleted. Before triggering the backup itself, it might be deleted. So that's why we cannot take any type of backup in that on the tempdb. Interview question: what type of backups we can take on tempdb? No backups we can take on tempdb. Why? Because it will contains all the temporary data, all the processing and all will be done in the tempdb. Every session will use tempdb for processing the data, sorting the data and all. So temporary data will be stored in the temporary tables. These will be deleted immediately whenever the processing is completed. So that's why the data won't be stored permanently in the tempdb. So that's why we cannot take tempdb backup. All other system databases backup we can take, but tempdb backup we cannot take. Okay, clear, guys? One more important point is, very important point is, when you restart the SQL server, a new tempdb will be created. When you restart the SQL server, a new tempdb, the old one will be dropped and SQL server will create a new tempdb. Again I am saying, when you restart the SQL server, a new database, new tempdb will be created. The old one will be deleted and a new tempdb will be created. And one more thing, can I start my SQL server without tempdb?
No, Shanmugh, we cannot.
No.
Very good, we cannot start. Just now we discussed, right? Without RAM we cannot start laptop. Without tempdb we cannot start SQL server. Now correlate model database and tempdb. Now tell me, if my model is corrupted, can I start my SQL server or not?
No, we cannot.
Compare both model and tempdb. If no, why no?
Because of when you create to new database,
Okay, tell me.
yeah,
Maybe-
temporary database also will create.
So when I
Maybe,
create a new database, every time tempdb will be created.
Yes.
In that case, I
Yeah,
create
no,
4 new
when you-
databases.
When you restart now, that time,
Okay, very good. When I restart,
SQL
Tell
server,
me.
that time new
Ah.
tempdb will be created.
new tempdb will be created. Okay, what will happen if it is new tempdb is created? What will happen?
Without tempdb, we cannot
Without tempdb na?
yes.
Maybe
You are close to the answer. You are very close to the answer.
Shanmugh, maybe temporary is also same like model, which is used to create SQL server based on the template.
No. No. That is not the correct way, correct path you are going. Don't understand in that way. New tempdb will be created. I am not saying new database will be created when you restart. New tempdb, whatever you can see will be dropped and again new tempdb will be created. Kumar, try it, man. You are closer to the answer.
MDB depend with the model database, right?
That's it. Very good. That's what I'm saying. A new tempdb will be created, a new tempdb, a new database tempdb. So if while creating tempdb, it will also have its own path, right? It will also have its own size, right? From where it will get all these values, size, auto growth, path, from where it will get? From your
From
model
TempDB.
DB.
From
Hey, model DB, man.
From model DB.
yes.
From model DB we will get it. If model is down, TempDB cannot access model, so TempDB cannot be created. If TempDB cannot be created, can we start the SQL server?
No.
We
No.
cannot start the SQL server. So that is the relation between model and the TempDB. Okay, so if there is no model or if model is corrupted, we cannot. This is the pakka interview question. Make sure you are going to put star markers. Guys, again there will be no sessions, especially on interview questions. Okay, whatever interview questions are there, I am explaining in the topics itself. Again, one more session, not like that. I'll give one more session on general questions, like some questions will be there. They'll ask who is your project manager, what project you are working, where is your office, what is your database size, what is your how many servers you are supporting, what are the tools you are using. Okay, so they are going to ask like this kind of general questions. I'll take one session, but technical questions again I don't take any separate session. Whatever I said important interview question, you have to mark it. Believe me, by the end of the session, like this 100 questions, hardly 100 questions you will get it. If you read all the 100 questions, definitely you will get the job. 100 questions are lot more, guys. Out of 100, hardly will get 30 to 40 questions, pakka questions you will get it. Okay, so again star mark it so that it will help you a lot. Next time again no need to search. Right, so this is the problem with the TempDB. When you restart the SQL server, a new TempDB will be created. So how the new TempDB will be created? On the basis of model DB, this TempDB will be created. So if model is corrupted, it cannot be available. It cannot be a template for the new databases. So TempDB cannot access model databases. So TempDB cannot start, cannot be created. So if TempDB cannot be created, SQL Server cannot start. Yes, any questions please here? No problem. Tell me if you have any questions, you can ask me.
No, Sharma, quite clear.
Yes, any questions please? No questions? What happened, Lakshmi? Lakshmi, what happened? You are able to see screen, right? Means the RDP screen, you got the RDP screen, right?
Yes, sir.
You are able to connect to the server?
Yes, sir. But now I'm getting, but last time I'm not get.
Okay, now you are able to connect, or you are still getting
Yes,
the
sir.
same error? Okay, done, fine.
No, sir. No.
Fine. Okay, done. So this is how the TempDB will work, guys. TempDB, again it will act as a temporary database. All the data, all the users, whatever their work will be there. Like it's a kind of a playground. Everyone will come and go, right? In the same way, all the users, whatever queries they are running, all the queries will run in the TempDB, and the data processing, sorting operations will be done in TempDB. So when you restart the SQL server, a new TempDB will be created, and we cannot take the backup of TempDB, guys. Okay, so this is all about your TempDB. Chalo, so we can see, I told you like 5 system databases, but we can see only 4 system databases. What about 5th system database?
Resource database.
Very good. Okay, so the 5th one is a resource database. So resource database is very important system database, but you cannot see the resource database in the SSMS. Then what is the proof? I don't believe you, Shanmukh. No problem. So what you can do, go back. Okay, go to log folder. Just select any file, type R. Okay, role model log. Okay, no issues. Okay, just come back, go to bin folder. Okay, and select any file, type R. Go down. Hey, where is my resource database? Where is my resource database? Hey, here it is. Yes. Okay. Right. Now you can see this is also data file, you know, right? You know this is a data file, right? You know this is a log file icon, right? So you can see data file and log file means database should be there, right? Database should be there, right? So this is called your resource database. Due to security reasons, you cannot see in the management studio. But where we can find this, the path also will be different, guys. Normal data files, log files you can see in the data folder, but resource database data files you cannot see in the data folder. Bin folder, they separated the files locations also. Okay, so you can see under bin folder. So you can see MS SQL system resource data file, MS SQL system resource log file. These are very important files. So I can say master and resource both are wife and husband. Both are wife and husband or lovers, whatever it is. Okay, both are wife and husband kind of thing, guys. Whatever data you are storing in the master, the data you are storing in the master logically, but the same data will be stored in the resource database physically. It's just separated, and you can see the logical paths will be exist in the master database, but the physical things and all will be exist in the resource database. And one of the core system database to manage the updates. Okay, now you can see the bill number, right? You can see the bill number, right? This bill number information you are getting from resource database, guys. Resource database is responsible to store the bill numbers. When you update the SQL server, when you patch the SQL server, indirectly you are updating resource database. You are updating the version, right? They are calling like this. 1 minute, guys. Hello?
కిందికి వస్తుందా? అవునా, నాది అయిపోయింది, తినేసి నేను వెళ్ళిపోతాను. వదిలేదు, వెళ్ళాలి.
వెళ్ళిపో బ్రో, తినేసి వెళ్ళిపో. Right? So this is the resource database. You can see MS SQL system resource and MS SQL system resource data file and log file. So this is how you can organize the things, guys. So again, master and resource both are wife and husband kind of thing. Whatever data will be stored in the master, the same data will be stored in the resource database physically. Resource database will hold the bill number information. Okay, and whenever you are patching the SQL server, they will ask in the interview which system database is responsible for patching and updating. Your resource database. Indirectly you are patching a resource database, guys. So if the resource database version is changing, the bill number also will be changed. Okay, patching tomorrow we'll start patching class. It's an interesting class, guys, patching. So this is how the resource database will work. Okay, so these are all about your system databases. So can you rename the system database? Is it possible to rename it? Can you see rename option here?
No.
No, we cannot rename the system databases. Can we put the system databases offline?
No.
No, not possible. We cannot put the system databases offline. You don't see any option, right? You don't see any option, sync, backup, restore, generate. Okay, so there is no option to put the system databases offline, guys. Okay, yeah, that's it. That is all about your system databases, guys. Any questions, any doubts?
Can we use the resource database to back up
No,
data file?
no, you cannot back up like a regular database. Okay, but you can take the backup and physical like cold backups you can take on resource database. What is meant by cold backup, I'll tell you in the backup session. But like how you can take backup on master model MSDB, in the same way you cannot take backup on resource DB. Why? Because you cannot see this database in the SSMS, right? So it is not going to allow you. There is another way to take the backup for resource database. So we can take in another way, that is called cold backups are possible on resource database. Right? Any other questions, please? Any other questions? No questions. So now let's discuss two important points in the system database concept. So sometimes they will ask you what are the IDs of system databases. ID Every object will have ID, guys. In the SQL Server, every object will have ID. Databases will have database IDs. Tables will have object IDs. Logins will have SIDs. Files will have file IDs. In the same way, databases also will have database IDs. How to see sp underscore help db will help you to find out the database IDs for each database. So what is the master database ID, guys? 1. So the ID is like based on the importance. Based on the importance, the ID is there. So as master is so critical and so crucial database, so master database is 1. After master, which is the most important system database, guys?
Model.
Model,
MDB.
model or
MDB.
model or TempDB?
MDB.
Resource, of course,
Resource.
but you cannot see, right? So the database that you can see out of these databases, which one is the second priority database is your TempDB. So TempDB ID is 2. Okay. Next important database is model database 3, and remaining the last one is MSDB, which is 4. No one will see from other user databases will start from 5, guys. I created WhatsApp database first, so that's why WhatsApp database is 5. And then last database I created is role model. So you can see 8th one. Okay, after WhatsApp I created 6th. You can see. You can also identify like this. If someone asks, now you have a confusion, which database is created first. Generally, you can see the date created option will give you. Okay, but still quickly to identify based on the importance, you can see based on the IDs. You can see. So 6. Telegram is created first, then 7. Okay, your phone pay is created, then 8, then role model is created. So this is how we can identify when they are created. Okay, right. So master, if you see, generally when this instance they just found, there you can see the same master database they are using. So that's why you are able to see 2003 system databases. You are able to see 2003. Okay, and where is the temp DBC? Why it is showing June 21st, guys? Can anyone tell me?
We can install that time.
Yeah, yesterday created.
It was created today.
Today, just now, before starting the class, I just started the SQL Server. So that's why you're able to see the date created for TempDB is showing today. I'm sorry. Right? So this is how generally you can see the IDs of the system databases. Okay? Right? If you want to remember, it's very simple. MSDB, master is critical, right? You know, so master is 1. So after that, immediately MSDB. Okay? MSDB is 4. Okay? 4 characters are there. So this ID is 4. Right? So MM comes together, model DB. Okay? So remaining the one database, which is TempDB. If you want to remember, you can remember like this, guys. Okay, fine. So this is how you can remember the IDs of the databases. One more important question: when you restart the SQL Server, which system databases will come to online first? Guess it, guys. We have 5 system databases: master, resource, model DB, MSDB, TempDB. Out of these 5 system databases, which one will come online first? I guess you can easily guess the first database. Which one?
Master.
Very good. Master will
Master.
come online first. Then
MDB.
TempDB. You will leave your wife.
Resource.
That's fine. No issues. Okay.
Resource.
Next.
Model.
Model. Yes. Next.
TempDB.
Finally, your TempDB and finally your MSDB, guys. Master is first one. Master. Then of course, lovers, right? Resource. This is also interview question.
Model.
Model should be there. Why? Because without model, TempDB cannot be created, right? So model should come first before TempDB. Then finally MSDB is an optional. So this is the way of coming online. Okay, this is the way of coming online, guys. This is how you can see. Where to see? Can we see this? I'll try to show you. Okay, let me go to this management. You can see the logs, guys. Okay. So you can see the logs, what's happening in SQL Server and all. You can see logs, where I can see the logs management, expand SQL Server logs, current error log. Okay, you can see current error log. Double click on this current error log. You have to read this error log from the bottom to top approach. The old one will be there, old information will be there in the bottom. Okay, and the recent information will be there on the top. Okay, the recent information will be there on the top. When you have some time, just open it and check it, guys, what and all things are there in this. Just open it and check it. Okay, so when we are trying to bring the database online, we got an error. PhonePe starting database PhonePe 17204. Okay, we got an error and we can see that error in the error log file. See the same error, could not open the file, and PhonePe.mdf for the file number 1, OS error, the system cannot be find path specified. So this kind of information and all you can see. Go down, go down, go down, go down. Now it just identified the version of the SQL Server, right? Then something adjustment, timing adjustments and all will be there, and it will check whether the license is valid or not. Then you can see server, it will allocate one process, then it will detect the processor. This is the processor actually. Then it will detect the authentication mode, what type of authentication mode it is. Then you can see the startup parameters. Okay, startup parameters. So startup parameters are very important, guys. How it will start actually based on the startup parameters only. What are the startup parameters? Master database data file. See master.mdf. Okay, let me show you here as well. Windows R services.msc. There also you can see. They will ask you sometimes what are the startup parameters for SQL Server. So go to SQL Server service, database service. Go to the properties of this service. Go to the logon field. No. Okay, do one thing. Let me check in the configuration manager. Okay, configuration manager. Yeah. Actually, here also we should be able to see some. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, here also you can see this is a SQL executable file. We can see logon, recovery, dependencies. No, it is pulling the information. No issues. Right, now if you go to the SQL Server properties, there you can see one tab called startup parameters tab. Okay, see startup parameters. If you open this, you can see 3 files are there. What are those 3 files? -d. What is meant by -d? Master database data file. Okay, next -l. L means log file, D means data file, master database log file. Finally -e means error log. Okay, so you can see error log. When you start the SQL Server, first these 3 files should start, right? First these 3 files should start. That's why it is called startup parameters. Startup, which will help to start the SQL Server. So master is very important, as critical as it knows all other paths and also first master should start, right? So master data file and log file will come to online. If something goes wrong, if it is not running, if it is not able to start, it should write the log, right? So that's why error log is also starting. So these 3 files, master database data file, log file and error log, these 3 files you can call it as a startup parameters, -d, -e, -l. Okay, right? So this is how you can see the startup parameters, guys. Right, now let me go to the same error log. It just detected the startup parameters. That's fine. It just detected -s MS SQL Server. Done. It just detected the RAM, how much RAM it is using, and buffer pool. That's okay. Let's slowly we'll get to know all these things. So yes, see here, master is started. Okay, master is started, guys. Starting up master database. Right, slowly go up. You can, guys, again I'm saying, you cannot see all, like how we discussed it. You cannot see everything, but I'll try to show you. Okay, why? Because all will start at a time, guys. Generally you cannot see that milliseconds difference, but the logically master will start first, then resource will start. Sometimes you can see that in the log, but sometimes you cannot see. Right, after this What other system database we can see? Yeah, resource database. See, resource database. After this, resource database. So generally it should show model in between. Okay, model. It should show model, right? Why we cannot see model? MSDB. Yeah, if you see here, clearing temp DB. Okay, you can see here clearing temp DB. So that means it is going to delete the temp DB, and it is going to start the temp DB, new temp DB and all. Okay, but in between you can see model, guys, and then temp DB, starting model.
Model is there.
It's a model.
Go up.
The first date, I think it's a little up,
Go up, go up.
This is
more up.
more up. Okay.
Yeah, just a
Go
little bit
up,
more.
go up.
About 12, probably. 12
Uh,
steps up.
Can you see? Can you identify this number SPIDs?
Go up once. Go up, go up.
Oh,
Yeah,
Go
there.
up.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it, guys. So again, I'm saying model without model temp DB cannot be started, right? But you can see here starting MSDB. Forget about these databases. All these databases will start after your system database only. All user database will start after system. But generally, while writing the log and all, it might be late. But technically, first master, then resource you can see, then model, then temp DB, then your MSDB, then all other system user databases will come to online, guys. That's why I told you initially itself. Okay, so why? Because while logging the data to the log file, it might be plus or minus 2-3 steps up and down, guys. So that's why you can see like this. Okay, so this is the path, guys. This is the path, like this is how generally they are going to start when you start the SQL server. This is the correct path. Fine, that's it, guys. So nothing is there to discuss from databases side, system databases side. So tomorrow we'll start patching class, tomorrow and Friday, both two days we'll discuss patchings only, and then Monday we'll go to the jump to the security. Okay, fine. Any questions, any doubts, anyone facing any issues, please, you can connect, you can share your screen, no problem, and I can help you to fix those issues if you're having any issues while practicing. And I have uploaded day before yesterday's video also in the YouTube under batch 50 playlist. No questions, huh? Right then. Okay, guys. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll meet at 7 p.m. IST. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.